Good idea. It's the Morning Joe to your Morning Joe. It's the blue collar to your blue collar. It's the lab coat to your scientists. Speaking of scientists, y'all want to learn something today?
Hello and welcome to Good Idea. Today we're doing a podcast for you. For you. Welcome to Good Idea.
Welcome.
All right. Oh, yeah. Welcome. Welcome. Fantastic.
Welcome.
It's probably conceited to say, but I think that intro song wasn't bad.
It's here to stay.
Yeah, I guess it's okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
I made a souffle.
Boy.
When did
Jeff
Dr. Seuss have children?
did. I made a souffle. It didn't even collapse when I took it out. The souffle was awesome.
What's a
It
souffle?
rocked.
I like Yoplait.
Jeff likes Yoplait. We're talking yogurt. We're talking souffles, chefs, conceit. We're talking
gourmet.
all kinds of things. We're
is a
talking
really good
gourmet.
Gourmet
This is what,
Yoplait
G?
souffle. Gourmet
I said
Yoplait
this is-
souffle. We did
I
it.
said this is a really good theme, but I've rescinded that now.
But did you not hear Jeff say gourmet Yoplait
Yeah,
souffle?
that's why I rescinded it.
Gourmet Yoplait souffle. It's not a bad theme. Gee, what the hey? Come on. What the heck? Okay. We're talking about making food. You know, like isn't it amazing what baking can do? I don't know the chords for that one because I don't have that pulled up. I was looking at the chords for Fun Home and not the chords
Course.
for Waitress
Got
prior
it.
to this. But
Food,
I do
glorious
love Waitress.
food, hot
Glorious
sausage and
food.
custard.
So
That's from Oliver.
I know, and I've never seen Oliver the Musical, but I have heard that number in Ice Age.
Oh, mood.
I haven't seen that, but Oliver
Ice
was the
Age
last show I was ever in.
What did you say, Aiden?
Well, Oliver is the last show Jeff was ever in, so
Yes.
I get that's important
I was
because I don't
12
know
years
anything
old
about
and I
Oliver,
got a
but there's
crush.
probably some.
I was 12 years old, and my crush was this 12-year-old black girl from Tacoma, and like I lived in Whiteytown across the bridge.
Oh, amazing.
no.
I was so into her. She was great.
Yes.
Jeff lived in. That was bad. Hold on, let me try again. Jeff lived in Whiteytown.
That's
Across
right. It was
the bridge here in
Whiteytown.
Tacoma. Jeff lived in Whiteytown. Everyone knew that Jeff was white. He didn't try to hide it. He didn't try to hide anything from her. Their true love could be. Jeff was so honest. She knew he was white. He didn't try to hide it. She knew he was white. And he might have been so right for her.
It was plain as
But
the
it
skin
didn't
on my
work.
face.
Oliver.
I was from
the
that
last
whitey
show he was
place.
in. Jeff was as white as the skin on his face. But he should have done theater again, and he could have been with her. Jeff was so right for her, even though he was white, he didn't try to hide it. He was honest and open, and he created a potential for love that he lost.
I have a question.
Hold on,
What?
you just created an alternate dimension where I got with that girl and I'm still in theater, and I'm bummed that I'm not in that better timeline.
He had the power to see the way that the world could be, in spite of the way that it was.
That was
What,
my
Gene?
question.
What was your question?
My question was, did you ever like talk to her, or did you just like crush on her from afar?
Well, this is the sad part. For me, this is sad. I was a very shy boy, and we had moony eyes, and like we both talked to each other at the rap party. And I went up to my mom at the rap party, and I was like, "Mom, I'm afraid to like ask her. Do you think you could set up like a hang with her mom or like families or whatever?"
You used your mom as your wingman?
I know, it's so sad, but check this out. Check this out. God damn it, I had never been kissed. I knew nothing about girls. I had no idea. Give me a break. I was 12.
I had never been kissed. How did it end up like this?
Yes, that song was about me. But my mom didn't do anything and didn't tell me. And so that one got away.
The one that got away.
The way
Jeff could have been with her.
The way you tell that story is like it's your mom's fault that you never actually saw this girl again.
It was racism. I swear to God. I swear to God. She's gotten better over the years, but I think that was it. Also, I'm shy. I was shy at the time.
I think that your mom was probably just gonna be like, how the fuck do I tell this woman that my son has a crush on her daughter and he wants to set up a play date? How do you tell someone that, Jeff? As a potential mother, how would I go about telling someone that?
Well, you might say that to your kid, you know. What I'm saying is my mom was emotionally neglectful. It's best that we not get into it on this podcast.
I'm gonna be realistic here and just say that my kids will never have that problem, because I literally, like, there's no way they will, especially if I end up having kids with like Bill or someone, because we're both extroverts and I can't imagine having an introverted child. And if I do, then I won't know what to do with them.
I would get rid of my introvert child. That's what I do.
Hey, that's
I
what
know.
my mom did
I
in her
decided
heart.
that's
Oh,
what
no.
Jeff's mom did in her heart. I'd get rid of my introvert child. I do not need him. He's not a cool extrovert like his mom or his dad or his they them. He is an introvert child. Why do I need him around? I will just toss the boy like Hera did Hephaestus onto the ground. I am a wrathful mom, a wrathful wife, and I'm terrible and awful to my child. My child's an introvert child, though,
How
so
did you-
he deserved every bit of my wrath. I have an introvert child. Well, at least I used to.
This sounds like it's coming
I got
from a
rid
very
of my
personal
introvert
place.
child, and now I am happy.
Aiden, do you want to write a musical about my sad childhood and like sad adulthood?
Why not just your love
Honestly,
life?
all I ever want to do is write a musical. That's all I want
Oliver
to do.
2.
But
It's Jeff this time.
Oliver 2. This time it's Jeff. Jeff, hey, I'm gonna give you. It's your time for a solo, Jeff. Here you go. What key do you want your solo to be in, my
Whatever
dude?
that one was.
Oh, you want that same introvert child? I'll give you a
Well,
similar
do a
hook.
bridge or a different thing with it, but
Yeah,
I want that
for
key.
sure. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm just getting ready. Okay.
Look, it's like a guitar solo, but not singing. That was
Jeff. Come on,
sorry.
man.
Sorry.
I want to hear
roommate
this
came
from
in.
the
I
heart.
wanted to wait.
Okay.
Now she got her food.
Okay.
She did a DoorDash or something. Hold on. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready for this? No fucking around anymore.
No fucking around.
All right, here we go.
I was an introvert child. At least I thought I was. I was shy around girls, so I went to my mom for assistance. She wasn't very helpful, so I crawled back inside.
He crawled back inside.
Hey guys, this is who I am now. I was an extrovert that got squashed. What do you call them?
Introverts.
Yeah, an introvert.
Yeah.
AKA me.
Yeah. I love going out, but I haven't in a long time. I guess I haven't wanted to go out for a long time until I wasn't allowed to.
So because of the quarantine?
Oh my God, the way you said that. How's that song go? My darling quarantine?
Clementine.
She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes.
That
guys-
is a different song.
Oh shit.
That is a different song, and I think that the introvert child in Jeff is a good idea. Good idea is a brain trust your brain can trust. It's also a comedy podcast for you. Good idea is a brain trust your brain can trust. It is also a comedy and philosophy podcast where we design creative and actionable solutions to your real life problems. I am Aiden Kinsella.
I'm G Daly.
I'm George Diaz.
We're doing this one again?
Fuck.
Every time.
I thought I could slip that one in. Just recycle a joke.
You can. No, it is okay to recycle. There's no rule against recycling
you're allowed
jokes.
to
Stop
recycle
this.
it. I'm just going to call you out for doing it.
She's just allowed to make fun of you. Now,
I'm
George Diaz.
I'm the abstract
here.
idea of a comfy flannel sweater.
Amazing.
Okay, so we have no Jeff Richardson today. We have George Diaz. We have the abstract idea of a comfy flannel sweater. We have Aiden Kinsella, and we have G Daly. That's the cast.
Good.
Nah, but I'm George.
Flannel sweater, you're up.
Flannel sweater, you're up. No, George and Jeff, introduce yourselves, please, so we can move on.
I'm George.
Jeff Richardson.
All right, and George, we're gonna need your whole name, please.
I am.
I refuse.
A George Diaz.
I'm George.
There we go. I'm George.
I love the way you pronounce that.
Me llamo Jorge.
Ah, yes.
Okay, now we have the full legal name, so we can move forward.
Indeed.
Okay. What's on the agenda today, you guys? Because, I know I've sung before about how I have an agenda today, but I don't remember what the chords for that were, and I'm going to embarrass myself if I try and figure it out. So I think we're just going to answer a bunch of listener questions, right? Because we've been shooting the shit for a while now, but I think we discussed before the podcast, we really want to help people this time.
Before we jump in completely, I just want to say having Bill Smith on the show was just straight up like podcast gold, radio platinum. It was awesome.
Oh,
Dude,
good.
it was
He'll
awesome.
be glad to hear it.
Yeah, it was a 10 out of 10 experience.
You're saying having him on the show, we have to do at least one more episode with him, Jeff, because even though the listeners haven't heard this far, we have not finished the arc that we started.
We have not.
So you have more to look forward to. We're all here and we have some questions to answer. Bill, thank you again, and I'm looking forward to playing more with you. And without further ado, everybody,
I am
really
also looking forward to playing with him.
Are you?
Christ.
Jesus Christ.
They mean
You're
like
welcome.
Warcraft or something.
Yes, that's what
No.
I mean. Sure.
Jeff,
Yes, sir.
what's a question that we can tackle? What's something we can design, a problem we can design away?
Well,
How can we make the
AJ
world
had something.
better?
Should I pull that one up?
Yes, please. Let's start with AJ's, and then we'll really get into AJ's prompt, and then after that, we'll just sort of start moving through everything we got.
Oh, this is wild. This must be how we got on the subject of introverts. AJ Generis from Straight Off Pod, or Straight Off the Top of My Headlines, and Shattered Worlds RPG, and Something Wonderful Right Away. Anyway, here we go. How to make sure coworkers never realize where they've seen you outside of work.
Fake mustache.
Fake mustache.
Now, question. Are we wearing this fake mustache inside work or outside work?
Both. We have
Because you
different. We have a
can't do-
different mustache for either
Okay,
occasion.
I see. I was gonna say you can't do both, but if you've got a different mustache for each occasion, then that would make sense.
Oh, that's perfect, because then they don't even realialize when they've seen you at work. I like this.
I have a question. I have a question.
This is foolproof.
Because for me, my job is pretty sweaty. So to have a mustache at work, I feel is gilding the lily a bit. I'd rather just have my own mustache situation.
How
and
fast
then
can you grow a
fake
beard,
one.
Jeff?
Well, I have one. Now I have a mustache of sorts on top of my beard and lips. But anyway, so I have that already. So like to get an extra one and one for off work, I mean, will the post office pay for it like a uniform situation? I don't know. 2 mustaches.
I mean, the post office won't even pay for people to add guns to their uniform, so I don't know why they would pay for you to add a cool mustache. Next question.
Hey, hang on. What did you just say?
I know,
post
right? I'm not
office-
even responding because I will lose my mind.
The post office won't even pay to let people add guns to their uniform, so why would they pay to let people add mustaches to their uniform?
Aiden, why do postal workers need to carry guns?
For protection. And hunting and sport.
Right, obviously. I should have known. Forgive me
Jeff
for asking such a
Richardson.
stupid question.
I, Jeff Richardson, have to fundamentally disavow this suggestion. I don't know that it's a good idea, but either way, I will not endorse it.
What suggestion? I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just stating I know for a fact that the post office will not pay for their workers to have guns.
Oh, that
Or
is factual.
mustaches.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. But I don't think we've ever asked, or at least not enough of us to make it a
You
thing.
haven't asked.
Go to the.
There
Go
are
to
some postal workers that are like, why can't I leave my shotgun in my locker? You know?
I'm pretty sure Texas would be down with it.
Jeff understands what it means to be a postal worker that doesn't know why their shotgun can't be in their locker. Not because he has a shotgun, but because he's very empathetic.
I disagree with George that Texas would be down with it because Texas is very misogynistic and most of our postal carriers are women.
Oh my God, you can't give that many women guns.
Right. Texas doesn't want to arm the women.
You can't give that many women guns. Well, I can't believe they give that many women letters. They could give people paper cuts with that kind of arsenal.
You're not wrong.
Okay, if we don't arm
If
the
like,
women,
what if they
why
got
don't we
on
just
their
leg
period
the
while they
women?
were delivering mail?
Sorry, two of you guys were talking at the same time.
George, what were you saying?
If they won't let them arm the women, why don't we have them leg the women?
Ah, George.
Because
This is
women
good.
already got leggies up real far.
Yo, women got leggies up real far. George, your question's been answered. All right. Didn't even think about that. Fuck. Gee, you asked there was something earlier when we started talking about Jeff being an introvert child, and I was going to say something about something you said, I think, and I don't remember what it was. Do you remember what that was?
Probably something about me not knowing what to do with an introverted child.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I think the thing I was going to say was something about how Jeff's mom had a really high shooting percentage for creating for like shooting the child off the top of the cliff, as though the child were a basketball.
That's relatable content.
It's relatable content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hear me out, because on this show before we've worked to increase mothers' shooting percentage capabilities. And I'm just saying that if you're throwing a child off the top of a mountain, it's kind of like throwing a basketball. And if you were to throw a child off the top of a mountain to create an introvert child in this metaphor that we've created, then it would be probably true that Jeff's mother has a high shooting percentage and that we could go for her to consult. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Is your mother secretly Hera?
Yo, that's a good comparison.
Jeff, is your mother secretly the wrathful queen of the gods?
Yo, maybe.
Jeff,
Could be.
Were you born of an affair between your father, who was in the form of a bull at the time?
What?
Jeff, were you born to an affair in which your father, at the time of the affair, was in the form of a bull, the shape of the animal, the bull?
But hang on. Hera didn't throw the Minotaur off of Olympus. She threw Hephaestus off of Olympus.
We're not saying that Jeff is Hephaestus. We're saying Jeff's mother might be Hera, and I'm just asking that if that is true.
Why do you pronounce the Greek gods' names like that?
What are you talking about?
You said
Guys.
Hera.
Because I don't give a shit about pronunciations, and because I like to pronounce things different ways, different times, just to and
Aiden, you're talking
entertain my
about
fucking
mom.
self.
Please call her Hera, or she will launch lightning bolts at us or some shit.
She can't throw lightning bolts.
Dude, I don't know what my
Motherfucker.
mom can do. She's a fucking demon. It's
She
terrifying.
can make me
I heard
spill
she
Coke
might have
Zero,
talents.
apparently, because I just yelled she can't throw lightning bolts and my hand tipped and Coke Zero spilled almost all over my pants.
She got that Coke Zero power.
Maybe
She does have that Coke Zero
Maybe we
power.
should stop.
Yeah, I think we're gonna soon turn into Icarus and fly a little bit too close to the sun, if you get what I mean.
I am known for my hubris.
Right?
What's the next prompt? What else do we got to cover? Fake mustache, AJ.
George got one from excuse me. George got one. It's a good pancake recipe. That comes from Spencer Fernandez.
Flatten.
Step one.
Just
No, that's it. That's the
Flatten.
only first and final step. Flatten.
Don't give me those fluffy IHOP pancakes. I want flattened
No, hang
I
on.
want it flat.
What are we flattening?
pancakes.
Whatever.
Anything.
Really, whatever.
Anything.
Mostly
Anything and it'll be
pancakes.
pancake.
That's kind of what I'm saying
That's
is
a-
that we're
that's a
not
good
flattening
recipe.
pancakes. That's like saying you put toast in a toaster. I mean, I guess flattening a pancake is the best way to know that you'll get a pancake out of it.
So
But
this is my
we
next question then, follow-up question. How do we perform the flattening?
Well, do we all understand that you flatten things and create pancakes general?
Yes,
Yes.
got it. Got
Okay,
that.
we've agreed on that. Okay, how? Good question.
Do we get the moon to crash into the thing that we are flattening?
That seems like an awful lot of effort for a very small amount of pancake.
But it's supposed to
Yeah.
be flat.
There's two problems with that. Once the moon gets too close to the Earth, it'll just converge and destroy like half of the Earth or something. I don't know about
Yeah,
the
we'll
science.
get the
but-
flattest
So
pancake.
giant pancake,
I mean, huge. One of the biggest.
right?
Although it might be more like a bowl or like a crevasse. I don't know. Like a crepe
Crevasse.
of land.
A crepe.
A crepe.
A crepe,
A crepe
sorry.
is a
yeah.
pancake, though, essentially. Jeff, I can't believe you pronounce the Greek gods like that.
Yo, dude. I told you lightning bolts. Come on now.
I prefer the Roman gods.
Fuck those guys. Those guys stole all our shit and put different names on it. Fuck those assholes.
Oh man. They even stole Sparta's aesthetic. Come on.
Less said about those jerks, the better.
A crepe. I'm a weirdo.
Hey, how flat does a pancake have to be before it becomes a crepe?
2/3.
This many.
So if we 2/3 a pancake, it creates a crepe.
Wait, but there's an in between where it becomes a shoe sole.
I don't know what that is.
A shoe
I think
sole.
a shoe sole would be thicker than a pancake in some areas and thinner than a pancake in other areas, and emblazoned with the name of Dr. Scholl. These are all requirements.
Orthopedic pancakes.
Orthopedic pancakes, though,
God.
George, is something.
Y'all just zagged on me. This is great.
So that's
Right, we added a third
maybe that's how we
dimension
flatten
to the
Maybe
pancake.
that's how we flatten them is as an exercise for foot rightness and correctness. We have people flatten things with their feet.
That is how you make
is great.
wine.
No,
Hey,
but
there's
now
bound to
we
be
have
at
a
least
second
one person
thing.
in
That is
that.
how you make a fetish video.
There's bound to
People
be at
put
least one
these
person
boards
into
on
that.
their feet and they just smoosh the pancake batter.
Business idea. We just do this with our feet, but we do it on an OnlyFans account or whatever it's called.
On a what?
An OnlyFans account. It's like Twitter but premium.
Yeah,
It's,
so I
no,
think
it's
George
like
understands.
Twitter, but for porn.
Yeah, I don't want
George
people to see my
understands.
feet.
It's like no. It's like Twitter Premium, and I think George understands what I'm saying. I think that flattening things with our feet is the way to make pancakes, and I think that George is right, and that we should open an OnlyFans account, and that's the best way to make this into a business opportunity. Now, for this to be a true good idea in the spirit of good idea, we must then use that money to fund our other ventures. But this is the way to go.
So it's a
I
little
think
bit
George
of
is
dirty
totally
up
right.
top so you can do cleaner later on.
Well, I don't even think that there's anything dirty about having an OnlyFans account. It's
Except
just we
maybe
have to
your
make
feet.
sure that except maybe your feet, which you can wash off later.
Oh, you got to wash them off between every like 20th pancake just to make sure that you don't get bacterias in there or whatever.
We should be careful not to make any pancakes out of spikes or anything with
Broken
tetanus on
glass.
it. Broken glass would be bad.
Rust.
Caltrops.
I think it would be a very fun special video if we tried to make a pancake out of a trampoline one time.
That would be very
It's already
bouncy.
flat.
No, but that's Jeff. But there's those legs holding it up apart from the ground, so it doesn't. There has to be that space for it to. So we're trying to break the trampoline by jumping on it until it becomes truly flat.
Also, the one part that everyone seems to forget, aka the poles that hold up the net to make sure people don't jump out of the trampoline.
Gotta
I've
flatten
never
those
had
poles.
a trampoline with a net. My parents
Gotta
didn't love
flatten
me.
those poles. I have had a trampoline with a net, but the net always gets like a bunch of pollen and leaves in it, and it's really no good at all. And I would rather just break my neck or something. I don't know.
Our net was
there's
the ground. If we
It's a
actually
good
had a
net. It'll
net on
catch
the
you every
trampoline,
time.
we begged my dad to remove it because we wanted to jump from the top of the treehouse onto the trampoline.
Oh my God.
It was amazing.
Is this
That'll
Jackass?
violate your insurance. Oh man, liability. Yo, did
there was
anybody
a
ever get a
Netflix
traumatic
episode of-
brain injury off of your trampoline?
You guys ever get a traumatic brain injury off the top of your trampoline? I'm not really sure, but I'm going to choose to name it straight off the top of my headlines to dramatic injury off the top of my, whatever, off the top of my trampoline.
I think Aiden might have, yes.
No, but hear me out though. I was watching, my sister was watching Tiny Homes the other day, and I was watching Tiny Homes, and it wasn't like, I don't know what Tiny Homes it was, but it was like some Netflix Tiny Homes. And it was pretty good. And they built a trampoline for a little kid who said he did parkour. And I emphasis on the phrase said he did parkour because at no point during the episode do we see this kid do parkour. And they built a trampoline for this kid to jump into the tree house that they're building for him. And I'm like, that has given that kid so much trust to not fail jumping into the treehouse. It takes one misjump into the treehouse for that to be a bad story. I don't like it.
Gee, tell us about it. Like, did anything bad ever happen?
If anything bad ever happened, my brain blocked it out, but I don't think anything bad ever happened to me. I know one time my cousin did a backflip off the trampoline onto the ground and landed on his back.
Oh God.
He had a history of doing shit like that. There was another time, now this was not on our trampoline, but we were at one of those like trampoline parks, and he did a flip and did not manage to make it all the way, and landed on one of the springs, his head on one of the springs, and had to get stitches. And so that was the first time I ever saw someone get stitches. That was pretty cool.
You watched them get stitches?
Yeah. It was payback. He pushed me into a pool wearing my favorite dress when I was 5. In February.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We had a very good relationship when we were kids. He was actually my best friend when we were kids. So
That's nice.
yeah.
Who
I
is
once
this?
was with one of my
cousin.
childhood best. Oh, that's fun. I was
Sorry,
with
go
one
ahead,
of my.
Aiden.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Why are you sorry? I was with one of my childhood best friends. This was in middle school, and this was I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before or not, but it was a big crush on this person. And on the way home from school, when we were walking together one day, we ended up at a pond in the winter time. I think it was also February time, and the pond was largely frozen over. And I don't remember exactly why it was that I was partially on the pond, but I think I was trying to be entertaining because that is a me thing to do. And I fell partially into the freezing pond.
Oh, good.
And refused the invitation to come inside and dry off, which was foolish of me.
A little bit.
Foolish of me.
Yeah.
For every reason. For 100 reasons. Aiden Kinsella.
Just give me a
Very
reason.
good.
Just a little bit's enough.
Yeah.
I will
I
point
don't
out
want to
that I
come
lived in
inside and
Texas as
dry
a child.
off, man, because I'm terrified of you.
I will point out that I lived in Texas as a child, and so when I got pushed into a pool in February, it wasn't like It was like 50 degrees outside, so
How
it
much
wasn't
algae
like.
was in there?
No, they kept their pool clean throughout the winter
Oh,
because it's Texas, and sometimes in the winter it gets up to 70 degrees and you can swim.
Oh wow, damn.
I hate you.
I have a picture. I have photo proof of like 4 years ago. I went home for Christmas, and on December 24th, it was 75 degrees, and I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
I hate you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Why you gotta hate, George?
Anyway,
All
yeah, I
right,
was
what's
standing on the diving board, and he pushed me in, so it was kind of my fault.
You kind of
So I
did a
shouldn't have
dive.
been standing on the diving board.
That's
a
actually
you
what they call
problem.
in the swimming industry an involuntary dive, and you can get extra points for those.
I will say also you're not responsible. Like it was your cousin's choice to do this whack thing.
Yeah, he was 6 and I was 5, so it's not like
I would like
it's
to
not
blame.
like either one of us actually
God.
understood the consequences of our actions.
Can I blame God?
That
That seems reasonable to
That
do.
is fair. That is a fair person to blame.
Well,
All right,
I'm
it's
blaming
probably part of his
God.
plan or something.
Mm-hmm. Mysterious ways and all that.
Yeah.
God's plan. God's plan. Push a kid into the water. God's plan.
God's plan.
God's plan. God's plan. 50 degrees in February. God's plan.
God's plan. God's plan. Snow in freaking April. It's God's plan.
Woo! What's
I think
the
God's
next?
dead.
God's dead. God's dead. Nietzsche said we killed him, baby. God's dead.
Isn't that just Final Fantasy?
Oh my God. Game Boy Final Fantasy, you get to the top of the tower and fight God with a glass sword.
How
It's
did
amazing.
we get here from pancakes?
Yo, we flattened
the
it.
world may never
we
know.
Time
flattened
is a
the
flat
curve.
circle now.
We flattened the curve. Time is a flat circle. We ended up here. Hashtag flatten the curve. Hashtag good idea. Hashtag. Hello. This is a quick break from the main part of the podcast for me to say the following. Okay, this episode is going up on April the 10th, and this last Tuesday was the most recent episode of the Houses of Bone and Lamplight little series that we're doing. So I'm going to try and alternate the rest of the Houses of Bone and Lamplight episodes with regular episodes of Good Idea, which will go up on Fridays. And those episodes I'm going to try to put them up on Tuesdays and maybe Wednesdays, but probably Tuesdays. All right. That's all I wanted to say. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's keep moving forward. George, you have a prompt for us.
Yeah, buddy. All right, this is a very important prompt. It's from a
Very important prompt.
It's from Jordan Reed from the Spooky Spouses podcast. And it is, I absolutely need to become extremely strong with little to no effort overnight.
Fast strength.
He has to get strong. Strong he has to get.
P90X.
Is it overnight? Is it P1X?
Sure.
It's 90 seconds.
I want to make
Oh,
sure.
yes. I like that. P90
I
seconds.
want to make sure that this person knows that getting as strong as possible overnight will not change the way you look from the neck up.
And it also won't change the way you feel inside.
That's true.
Unless they want to be mentally
Disappointing
strong.
women from the neck up. P90X.
What if they want to be mentally strong overnight?
They probably shouldn't listen to what I just said.
P96. Like for seconds. P96.
P90 Tex, the Texan workout.
Ooh, Texan
Flipping tractor
workout.
tires. That's the Texan workout. I wish I was joking.
What about cow
I
tipping?
literally did that in high school.
Oh, God.
Swimming in February.
Chasing chickens.
All things that I've done.
This is going to be like American Ninja Warrior, but G. Daly is going to host it. What would you call that show?
Redneck
don't know.
Ninja Warrior?
I don't know. Here's the problem with me hosting that. I'm fat. So
Well, you don't have to take part. You just like tell the audience what's happening.
just tell them what I did as a child when I wasn't fat.
We don't. Nobody. They don't want to be ninja warriors though. If they're rednecks, what they want to be is RV champions.
Yes.
RV
Okay,
champions.
mudding.
Yes.
When you go mudding and you have to push your car out of the mud, that's a workout right there. P90X.
Yes.
Push your car out of the mud, y'all.
Wait, are there Waffle Houses in Texas?
Texas, I've only ever seen one.
Dang.
So,
Only
yes.
one Waffle House in Texas.
Only one Waffle House.
Denny's is a lot more popular in Texas.
House in Texas.
What's a
But we
restaurant
got
that
a
is
lot
very Texan?
of Denny's restaurants.
A Texan restaurant? Oh, fuck. Oh,
When I'm in Texas-
Coulter's Barbecue.
When I'm in Texas, I love to visit Coulter's Barbecue.
All right, for
Texas
this
is very
workout.
famous for barbecue, which is weird because our barbecue's like not like traditional, really good barbecue, but they're also really good at like opening up burger chains that fail really quickly.
All right, for this workout, we're
the
gonna.
thing is, they're good at opening really good burger chains. They fail really quickly because they open them in really shitty places.
Oh God.
Oh my God, I love this though. Like as a premise for a show, a discontinued franchise just trying to hang on well past
Yeah.
the time that they're getting products from the company.
So the food version of Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, those zombie blockbusters that sort of limped along after. Oh, so sad. So sad.
We had one of those in my hometown.
Oh shit.
Oof.
It actually, I don't think the building has changed into anything. I think it's just an old abandoned Blockbuster still.
When you come to Texas, check out the abandoned Blockbuster video.
Everything is abandoned.
Everything's abandoned
Everything
here.
is abandoned in Texas. Everything is abandoned and bigger. So we just have a lot of these really big warehouse, empty type buildings here in Texas, full of nothing.
The other thing about Texas, though, is that a lot of things like, so I almost said farming. That's a good thing that you can do in Texas for a workout, but you can't because Texas is made of clay because we used to be underwater. So farming is not a viable option because once you get about 2 inches down into the soil, it's just red clay, which is where that red dirt road thing comes from, is the clay.
Follow the red dirt road.
Cactus chopping.
Follow the red
Yeah,
dirt
there you go.
road.
Cactus chopping.
Ugh.
Go
And then
cactus shopping.
pulling the cactus needles out of your friend. That's another workout.
Oh,
No, that's
getting
just
them
IRL
cactus
operation.
needles. Get those cactus needles out of. of
Counting
your
the amount of
friends.
times you can sneeze after inhaling ragweed pollen. That's another workout.
Let's go chase after a tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed.
Oh, running from dust storms. That's a West Texas workout.
Yeah.
West Texas workout. I love now we're getting regional.
If y'all
We're coming for you
are,
next, Houston.
Running from Dallas drivers. That's an East Texas workout. Well, North Texas workout.
if you're in southern Texas, run from one
Hurricanes.
border patrol station
Oh,
to
Border-
another
Border
border
Patrol
patrol
works too.
station.
Yeah, South Texas is hurricanes and border patrol.
Yeah.
East Texas is racists.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's all that's in East Texas. That's it. That's all they got.
Let's play
Well,
Lead of the Racist.
also here in Texas, come to Texas, everything's abandoned. But also, we're in Tornado Alley sometimes, so check us out.
That
I
is
like
another
to
good
hang out in the
workout.
center of the
Just-
tornado where the eye is, because
Yeah.
it's abandoned of all of the spinning air.
So squatting on your porch, watching a tornado, that's another good workout.
Slow
Um,
squat.
Squatting on your front
while
porch, watching
the
a tornado, doing squats while you watch the tornado come. You never,
Also known as
whenever
running
the
as
tornado
fast as you
sirens go off
can.
in Texas, you don't go inside and hide in your basement. We don't have basements. Remember the clay. It's really hard to dig in that clay. We just either stand outside until the tornado gets too close and then fly up into the tornado, or we all cram into one bathtub and hide a mattress and put a mattress over our heads.
Wait, I thought Texas had cellars.
Nope.
Huh.
No, we can't. We literally can't dig cellars because of the clay.
Well, that's a darn
No,
shame.
so they just have all these big open warehouses that have been abandoned because what are you supposed to do inside a big open warehouse
Yeah.
with nothing in it? There's nobody in there. Why would you even stay there?
Yo, I made
Texas?
a house in Texas, guys, and we had 17 bathtubs. You know, we had extra bathtubs just in case our neighbors
Just in
didn't
case
have
of
enough
tornadoes, yeah.
bathtubs. It's pretty much
Casinators.
all bathtubs all the way down.
I'm part of Texas
that's how
tourism.
we
How
do
about we
kindness.
promote the abandoned parking lot?
That's another
This
thing we've got a
parking
lot
lot
of.
hasn't got anybody in it. So it's a great place to flip over trucks.
Monster truck rally. Sunday.
This parking lot is a great place for a flipping over monster trucks rally.
I don't know. This might just be a regional Texas thing, but I grew up with a lot of dancing / bingo halls.
I'm pretty sure they have
that
that.
was our entertainment growing up. There was a giant hall that everybody went to, and sometimes it was bingo, and sometimes it was dancing, and sometimes it was both.
I think it's more so like during the county fairs when that happens, or like at your local Salvation Army church.
Oh
Pretty
no,
sure I've
our
seen something
three
like that.
options for entertainment were go sit in your car at the lake and smoke weed, go to the bingo / dance hall, or hang out in the Walmart parking lot.
Now that one is universal.
Teenage paradise.
The cops chased us out of everywhere else.
paradise.
They kicked us out of every other place, so we went to the abandoned parking lot.
Or
We hung
went
out at
to
Walmart all the time. It's easy to shoplift from there.
There was always a friend whose mom was like chill with us smoking weed in their garage. so
Just
that was
keep
like
the
our
fan
hangout spot.
on. Just keep
She'd
the
stick her
fan
head in
on.
every once in a while and be like, "Do you guys need snacks?" And we'd be like, "Oh fuck yeah, we're smoking weed. We need snacks."
Yeah, we got the munchies, bro.
Okay, Jeff, have you got any prompts for us?
Yo, I got more prompts. Check this out. Where should I start? Well, George asked, can we make quarantine fun? I don't know if we've addressed that yet. I had a thought.
I feel like that's what everyone's talking about, but we can address it real quick.
We're trying real fucking hard, man.
Oh, we're doing it. We're just doing it right here. This is it.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. So let's keep going.
Public, as in public library or public health.
What?
Yeah, it just has to do with puppies. Puppy
good.
libraries.
Yes.
Puppy health, stopping, the spread of viruses with puppies.
That is a good idea. I think that is a very, very good idea.
Puppies in general are a good idea.
I don't know about y'all, but when I was in
I
college,
generally don't like dogs
Why?
Oh, that's a problem.
because they're too much.
That is fair.
That is entirely fair and
They're
valid.
just too loud. They're just too loud. And they shit on the floor and pee on the floor unless they're well trained. And because it is a fucking sin in our country to get a dog that is a trained dog, and you have to buy an adopted dog from the shelter, you can only ever do that. And if you don't do that, you're a bad person and you'll be made to feel bad.
Aiden
or
has
you're
some
a child.
fucking
or-
opinions about
Some
dogs.
you're
I
a
ideas
love it.
child.
here.
or you're a child and your mom wants a dog and can't live without a dog or an animal of some kind in the house, and she feels like you can't get a animal without whatever. It's fine. It's not it's just everybody. It's society and its rules and it's whatever, and it's everybody likes dogs, and I get it and I understand the value of them. And honestly, further and further into my life, I appreciate them more because I'm not as anxious as I used to be. It's shocking, I know.
Hey, check this out. Let me solve it for you. Next to the pup lick library is the cat lick library.
No. This doesn't solve the problem.
And they're on either side of a normal
I
no
thought you were
pets
going to say
library.
it's the regular library.
No, we're not taking away the regular library. It's regular in the center. On the left is public. On the right is cat lick.
Fine. I'm fine with that. But I should say though, I would like to finish sharing why I struggle with dogs, and it's just that there's so many. Do you guys realize how many different stimuli happen with dogs? And maybe you three do.
God,
yes.
But it's shedding fur, not shedding fur, the jingling of the collar of any kind, increased in jingling amount by the amount of tags that the owner felt like putting on their dog. If they haven't been declawed, then they're
declawed. You mean their claws cut?
Declawed. Well, I'm saying if they haven't had their claws cut or whatever.
Yeah.
Then the skittering on the sound that is created with the ground when they run on any hard floor interior surface is another sound that they add alongside the padding of the 4 feet at once that run at unpredictable amounts and speeds and places all throughout your house, and the barking that is of different volumes and pitches and all sorts of things, and it's completely unpredictable and obnoxious. And also they have water in their mouths and you don't know where that's been, and that could get on you. And they have teeth that are sharp, and they have big eyes with gross shit in them and around them, and they have noses and you don't know what's in those, and those make different noises, and the breathing is separate, a different noise in their nose breathing and their mouth breathing. This is maybe this is what makes me a good writer or descriptive person or whatever.
This is a whole ass autistic mood, and I feel it.
Yes. I haven't had a dog in a while, and so all those things you're talking about, I'm like remembering how annoying they are, or like upsetting, because I have the same kind of stimulus overload.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the idea of dogs. That's totally fair. Sometimes I find them very cute, but the problem is that dogs as a whole represent anxiety. Like they fucking shiver at the weirdest times for no reason. They just create, especially if it's chihuahuas, they shiver at the weirdest times for no reason all the time. That's like almost the most normal times for them.
So last year, I don't know if you guys knew this, but last year when I couldn't find a job, the only job I could find was working at an animal grooming, a dog grooming / animal. What's the word I'm looking for?
Handling?
Boarding?
Yeah, boarding. That's the word I'm looking for. And it was like run out of some lady's home, so there was not enough room for the amount of dogs that there were there.
Oh no.
And there were a lot of dogs, and like there was just this one dog that because the dogs were so overwhelming, there were just so many. And so I like totally get what Aiden is talking about, because like if there are more dogs, it gets worse. And then there was a beagle, of course, who was, you know how beagles are, they're like nonstop, just that baying, annoying sound.
That I had a beagle was one of my younger children, and that whining younger children when I was a younger child.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. When I was a younger child, there was a beagle in my house.
Overwhelming.
The baying was awful. They're so pathetic that I'm terrified I'm going to accidentally break them.
Yeah, but they're so sweet. They're so sweet, and they're so dumb, and you don't want to be anywhere near them whenever they're baying. There was just this one dog that was away from all the other dogs because he was used as a bait dog when he was a baby, and he was the sweetest thing in the world. He did not like men, but he loved me. And if I was feeling overwhelmed, I just went over there and I sat with him for like an hour because he was so calm and like not like the other dogs at all, but he was like a pit bull something mix, and he was huge, and he would just put his head on my lap, and it was like having a weighted blanket on me, except it was a dog. It was so good.
I don't hate that idea if the dog isn't going to slot. Like, it's the unpredictability. It's the unpredictability of the massive amounts of noise.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, that idea of multiple dogs is like, fucking forget about it. Because like,
honestly, they have to be in
the
separate areas.
Yes,
like one
my
dog
thought
per
was,
area.
oh, I love dogs. I can handle this. I could not handle it.
Nope.
She also had a room full of birds.
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh no.
And
no,
a room
no,
full
no,
of
no.
cats. And the cat room was the other place I went if I needed to
No,
like
my
be
God.
away
No,
from
no.
all the dogs because they were so loud. And every time somebody came to the door, every single tiny dog started to bark.
Oh no.
Oh my God, it was the worst.
Yeah, that's tiny dog life.
there's a psychic issue I have with dogs too, beyond the anxiety, and it is and beyond the anxiety that they cause in me of fear, and the anxiety that they cause in me of I am going to break you in half on accident because I'm 6 times your fucking size. And I said like I don't like dogs or whatever. I don't mean that I don't like dogs as in like I want dogs to experience any harm ever. They just cause
don't
me
like
anxiety.
being around dogs.
I just don't like being around dogs. And so I have absolutely no desire to cause them any harm. And so that's one level of anxiety. But then they want something from me.
Yeah.
Dogs fucking want something from me.
It's usually
like there's
food.
no, and it's usually, well, no, it's not food. They want my attention.
Yeah,
like
it's attention.
I radiate energy, and you listen to this podcast probably partially because I radiate energy. Like, I mean, that's just a fact about my person. And I don't know what that means, and I only know it because I've been told it enough times that I believe it. And whatever. Dogs love me because I radiate anxiety energy when I'm around them. And so they're just like, fresh meat.
You know who I think will relate to this whenever he listens to it is Bill. Because he is very uncomfortable around dogs and pretty much any animal in general as well.
That's kind of how I feel. And most animals are not as much as dogs, but like birds for sure.
Are so much.
Oh God.
Neil Gaiman uses the bird imagery a lot in at least one of his books as an anxiety haunting image.
Made friends with the crows that live near my house because I love them and they like to be fed and they bring me nice shiny things.
Ooh.
But even I'm like a crow mage. It's fine.
Yes.
They get too much because crows are very intelligent and they're very extroverted, and so whenever they start like making noises at you and talking to you and trying to get your attention, then it's like, okay, guys, I've got to go inside now because there are 20 of you flying around me. And it's time for me to not be around you anymore because you're loud. Also, they like peanut butter sandwiches.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I found the way to crack the code on not minding dogs wanting things, and maybe crows too. It's that you have to think of them as like your beloved children. You know,
That's
even
why
if you
some
don't
people
like
do
them.
like dog. Yeah, that's why. That's exactly how some people put up with animals.
There's
but
a
some
reason
people
why
just
people
can't.
call doggos fur babies.
Hang on, Aiden was talking.
Oh, it's no, it's okay. George, what George is saying is fine. There is a reason some dogs are called fur babies, and that's kind of what I'm responding to.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know why the fuck I would do that. Why would I be like, this thing causes me anxiety? Let me take good care of it and hold it close. Like
Everybody
you know
has
what?
different
I've done that
strengths.
before. I've been in bad human relationships before. I've already tried this and it doesn't work.
You are allowed to not like dogs, Aiden. You are allowed to be uncomfortable around dogs. Do not think
I know
that we're judging
I know
you for
that, but I'm using this as fodder for me to be opinionated. Because I don't hate dogs, but I do have strong feelings about them, and your point makes sense. I'm generally one to believe that you can act your way through things, but I think that and I kind of do that. You shouldn't have to. Yes, exactly. There's no reason that I need to have a dog. Now, when people that I care for have dogs, this becomes an issue. However, most of them are very kind people, and they're like, yes, this is just a dog that doesn't really understand the idea of time. Let me put this dog away for a minute, and then I'll get the dog back when you're done. Like, I mean, that's the reason I can't get behind treating dogs like human children is because they definitively aren't, and they're nothing like human children, and they don't think the same way people do.
No,
and
they don't.
No, of
no
course
animal
not.
does.
But I think you have to have that feeling in your heart for anyone or anything that you're trying to help live. I mean,
this is
I
if you
knew
Is that
someone.
just empathy?
Yeah, this is if you
Empathy.
want.
If you
Oh yeah, if I
want a
wanted
dog,
to,
yes.
Right.
if I wanted to have a dog, I think that Jeff, that's really good advice. And so I think maybe for the library, maybe in the public library, all the books are just about how to accept your dog,
How to
not how to
accept your
yourself.
dog as a human child.
How to accept your dog as a human child, part 1. In this book,
Written by Karen.
Who's
Written by
9 years
Karen.
old?
But crows too, also.
Oh, speaking of
I
annoying
made
animals.
friends with the crows near my house. I'm basically like a crow mage. I made friends with the crows near my house, and they'll fly me around wherever I go nowadays. I made friends with the crows near my house, and now I have a lot of bird friends. I made friends with the crows near my house, and my name is G. Daly.
I wonder what they brought me today.
I'm going to send you a picture of one of my crow friends, my first crow friend.
He was
to
my
find it now.
first crow friend. We met each other when I was just 16.
We got together that night.
He slept on my pillow that night.
I slept on his chest that night.
I had to be careful because
It was
he was
so
smaller
romantic.
than me.
I will have
That
you
one
guys
kinda
know
got
that
away
that
from me.
concept is disgusting to me.
This episode is really interesting too because it just sort of ends.